My name is Wilmer Nadjiwon. I am a member of the Cape Broker Band of the Ojibway Indians. I had the possibility of a job on an airport in Tuscarora Indian Reserve, which was part of Niagara Falls or Lewisville, New York. And it was in that they were unionized. I didn't know what unionized was. Well, if you don't join, you can't get the job. Well, I guess I'll join. And I find out that, well, with numbers, your chances of changing things are much, much greater than they are if you're single. When we go and we want more money, we just have to ask for it and we generally get it. I thought, well, that's what Cape Brokers should do. They should, the people on reserves. I was beginning to understand that whole system, but we weren't any better off because we had an Indian agent. Now, if we could get rid of the Indian agent, we'd probably have a better chance of life. I began to study how it worked. I thought, if I get home, I'll start the Union of Ontario Indians. Union of Ontarians, it would take all the Indians in Ontario. Then I could tell the government and the Indian agent something. And so I started the Union of Ontario Indians. And of course, we succeeded. People, all the reserves in Ontario were willing to join. And now we had numbers, big numbers. As time went on, I figured that not enough numbers. You can't move a country's politics with this kind of numbers that Indians could turn out. So that shook me. I was asked to go at many times to different church meetings, union meetings, anywhere there was a large group of people, and I was asked to speak. So I thought, well, I'm there, I might just as well see what happens when I do speak. So I used to go to the meetings and I'd speak my piece and say that the Indian agents were, the one that held us down and we didn't have any voice. There's a lot of reasons that I found. They were true. We didn't have a say in. But if I could get enough Indians together, we'd do it. They said, well, your beef is one that we recognize and we can help. White people, all the way from British Columbia to Nova Scotia, who belonged to churches and who belonged to not only the Catholic Church, but any church. And they wanted justice and they wanted a different look at the future than we were getting. Numbers started to pile up. And I heard of another organization in Toronto, organized and was going to try and do exactly what I'm saying. And so I started looking for it. And 2 days it took me to find Indian Eskimo Association. And that was a new thing. Indian Eskimo. He said, we can help. Well, I said, what are you? Well, he said, we're a justice society organization. The Eskimos are getting a bad deal, you're getting a bad deal, and we're trying to get enough people to change it. And that went all the way from there to Trudeau's white paper. This is years and years later, Trudeau's white paper. And he had been to the States and he picked up Eisenhower's method of getting rid of the Indian reserves in the States. He transported that exact statement over to Canadian Parliament and he called it the white paper. But now he had all these people that I had been talking to from BC to East Coast on my side, that when they wanted to take away the reservations, they all came out. And history will give you the answer now. The white paper had to be withdrawn. We still have a reservation. Now we have a reservation. Before we were only kind of squatters, but this is a reservation. It made a world of difference.